had a HIDA scan and I learned that I do need my gallbladder out, but not for the reason that you think. Hello, welcome back to Lauren's digestive system doesn't work correctly. Hi, I'm Lauren, and I recently had a HIDA scan, and by recently, I mean last November. For context, I'm filming this June 29th, so over 6 months ago. I just haven't filmed the video because I simply didn't want to. Hope this helps. So yes, I had a HIDA scan, and I learned that I do need my gallbladder out, but not for the reason that you think. What is a HIDA scan, you might ask? Well, I have no fucking clue. I'm kidding. I'll read the definition of it from Google. I was a law major in college, so anything medical, don't trust me on. I'm just here to give you my experience getting the HIDA scan. Because as a self-proclaimed hypochondriac that actually has medical issues, I research everything before I get it done. And you bet your bottom dollar that I was researching HIDA scan vlogs before I got my HIDA scan done. A HIDA scan is a hepatobiliary immunodiacetic acid scan. I didn't pronounce any of that correctly. Is an imaging procedure used to diagnose problems of the liver, gallbladder, and bile ducts. For a HIDA scan, also known as a cholecystography, a radioactive tracer is injected into a vein in the arm. The tracer travels through the bloodstream to the liver, where the bile-producing cells take it up. The tracer then travels with the bile into the gallbladder and through the bile ducts to the small intestine. So it's basically an imaging test where they see how a radioactive tracer moves through your liver and then your gallbladder and then your intestine. Now, if you're like me and you have ARFID, just kidding. I haven't been diagnosed with ARFID, but my therapist briefly mentioned ARFID, avoidant restrictive food intake disorder, because I'm genuinely afraid to eat most foods now because of my digestive issues. I have like really excessive burping, really nasty acid reflux that makes it feel like my throat's closing. I basically have cut out 99% of foods in my diet and eat a very restrictive diet now of just foods that I know won't trigger my acid reflux and excessive burp production. I have a whole video getting an upper endoscopy on my channel for my acid reflux if you want to hear more about my acid reflux. But if you're an ARFID girly like me, you're afraid of putting anything into your body like me, like radioactive tracers, like any medications. This was a very daunting experience for me, allowing them to inject a radioactive tracer into my bloodstream, but I did it and I survived and I'm living, and it honestly was not bad. I just freaked myself out. So let me start with my HIDA scan experience. You obviously can't eat or drink beforehand. It is a pretty long test. It's usually around 2 hours.
Yeah, no, have fun. I'll keep you posted because Lauren, this thing's like 2 hours, right?
Yeah, it's a long test.
It's a long test, so I'll just be chilling. I brought my word, so I'll just like get well. But yeah, so they should be. So but hopefully they're all the painters will be there. Rick was there last.
They give you a little IV port. I think mine was in my arm, where they inject the radioactive tracer into you. And then they also inject, I forget what the medication's called, but it's like a hormone that makes your gallbladder contract. During the second hour of the test, it's broken up into 2 sections. So the first hour, they just inject the radioactive tracer, and the second hour, they also inject the gallbladder stimulating hormone. I think it's a hormone. And I did take a little bit of footage in the tube when I was there. It's not good footage. You can't move around because that'll affect the quality of the images. So I was really trying to film without moving. If you notice, it's awkward. You can see in my footage, you can see the screen behind me that's showing the radioactive tracer moving through my liver, then my gallbladder, then my upper intestine. It's basically just a long ass 2-hour test where they see how your organs push this tracer through your system to see if your gallbladder is functioning optimally. Now, I believe my percentage of gallbladder function was 36, I want to say. They said that was 1% below the normal range, so they don't consider it an abnormal gallbladder ejection fraction. A normal gallbladder ejection fraction, Google is saying, is between 70 and 90%, but anything below 35% is considered abnormally low. And then I think anything above 90 is considered high, so at that point your gallbladder would be contracting too much. If your gallbladder function falls outside of the normal range, they could remove your gallbladder just for that alone if it's causing symptoms. Now, I do get a pain in my like upper right abdomen around my gallbladder area, but because it's not triggered by eating food, it's triggered entirely by my position, so I only get it when I'm laying face down. The surgeon that I went to see after getting my HIDA scan results said he can't be sure that it is my gallbladder causing the pain, so he wouldn't want to remove my gallbladder just because of the pain I'm getting if he wasn't sure it was my gallbladder. Some people also start getting gallbladder pain during the second half of the test when the gallbladder stimulating hormone is injected. I got a very, very faint cramp in the area for like 1 to 2 minutes. I didn't feel much pain at all. It vaguely cramped when I got the injection, but my surgeon said usually if it is your gallbladder causing that pain, that you'll start feeling a lot of cramping in that area when they inject the hormone. So because I didn't start getting my symptoms when they injected that, he says he can't be sure that it's my gallbladder, so he wouldn't want to remove my gallbladder just because of the pain I'm getting. I was low-key hoping that the test would definitively show that my gallbladder had something wrong with it, and while I did score 1% below the normal range, the surgeon said that he doesn't consider it an abnormal gallbladder function. So that combined with the fact that I wasn't cramping a lot during the test, he said he wouldn't remove my gallbladder just for the pain alone. However, I do need to get my gallbladder removed now. I was hoping the surgeon would tell me, yeah, your gallbladder's not functioning optimally, that could be causing your reflux, and I would have an answer as to why I'm getting the pain in my abdomen, why I'm getting horrific reflux. I got no answers on that. However, I have had a polyp that the doctors found on my gallbladder back in 2019, and the surgeon said once your polyp grows to be over 1 centimeter, you should have your gallbladder removed because of the polyp. Because when gallbladder polyps reach 1 centimeter in size or larger, the risk of cancer increases. The risk that it can turn into gallbladder cancer increases. And he said, and I quote, "I've never seen such a large polyp on such a young person before." End quote. And I was like, you know what? I'll take it. I'll take that as a win. I have broken the record in his experience for the largest polyp on a young person ever. So like I mentioned, this HIDA scan was back in November. That is when he told me if your polyp grows to be over 1 centimeter, we'll remove it. We'll remove your gallbladder. I just got my gallbladder re-ultrasounded like 2 weeks ago, and guess whose polyp grew to be over 1 centimeter. So I will be getting my gallbladder removed this summer. While my HIDA scan showed really nothing was wrong, my experience was very easy breezy. And if you're getting a HIDA scan, I wouldn't worry one bit. It's basically the same story as my endoscopy procedure. I was super nervous for that, and in the end it turned out fine. I was fine. The worst part about the HIDA scan was that I had to sit there still for 2 hours. I felt mildly claustrophobic when they put me into the tube, but you're not fully in the tube. It's just half of your body in the tube, so I got over that pretty quickly. The worst part about the test was that it was long, and because of that, I had to take a poop midway through, and you know, I was struggling by the end of the first half of the test because I was like, I really just need to poop. And then they gave me a bathroom break midway through before they resumed the second half of the test, which I was thankful for. As a constipation girly, when I can finally poop, I'm gonna take that opportunity. So I was just really grateful for the opportunity that they gave me to poop midway through the test. And that was my HIDA scan experience. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. If you have any questions about the HIDA scan that I didn't answer in this, please let me know. I will be vlogging my gallbladder removal surgery. I don't have it scheduled yet. I can't tell you when that will come out, but eventually you will be seeing a gallbladder removal vlog from me. Thank you for coming. Don't forget to subscribe or don't. And that's it. That's the video. Bye.